watching. You are watching.
You're watching. You guys are watching.
You're watching.
Soulful discussion.
All right, so hello, ladies. How are you guys doing today?
Good, thank you.
Hi, thank you.
Okay. And how did we just meet right now? Laundromat, absolutely. And so I approached you and I asked if you guys be interested in an interview. At first, you were like, you're like, I'm not looking my best right now, but it's part of.
Who is this guy?
Yeah, exactly. Who is this guy? Why is he approaching us about in a YouTube video, right? What did I approach about? What's the interview about? You guys remember?
Women's mental health.
Yeah, mental health is part of it. What was the other one? There was two other ones.
About men something.
It was about feet, mental health, and reflexology.
There you go.
Right? Okay. So in terms of mental health, are there any topics that you two like research, you follow, or anything like that?
Mental health.
Yeah.
Well, the coronavirus type of thing.
Yeah, it like affected a lot of people,
Yes, it did.
right? In terms of having to be like indoors and stuff like that.
Yes.
Right. So part of the mental health I'm going to talk about today is about like anxiety, depression, people who deal with that type of stuff. So maybe the information I provide to you guys today might be helpful to you. Okay. What about reflexology? Have either of you ever heard of that, or are you familiar?
Not really.
No.
Okay, so we'll get into that. Might be some helpful information for you. Okay, so let's get started with the questions. I'm gonna start left to right, and so you answer first, and then we'll ask you. Okay. First question.
How about right to left? No.
What's something that you like that other people might find to be weird? And I'm using weird for a reason. It doesn't necessarily have to be weird, but other people might look at it that way.
No.
It could be a hobby that you have, maybe.
It could be
Something
anything.
like that. Anything. I'll let you answer first, so you seem like you have an
Dead
answer.
bodies.
Dead bodies? Okay, so that's something that you're interested in?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And are we talking about like on?
No.
What are we talking? Are we talking about on
Live.
film? Oh, live.
Live.
Okay, cool.
Really?
Live.
Goodbye?
In terms of you?
No, actually, I thought about it.
Okay. How about we come back around to that? Okay. Has anybody ever made you feel insecure about your body or a body part?
Yes, of course.
Yes. Okay. And for you?
Not really.
Not really.
Actually.
So are you somebody who has like high self-confidence? Doesn't really bother you too much?
No, it doesn't. I mean,
Okay.
I don't think anybody's actually there telling me.
Okay. But so for you, you said you have dealt with that. Is that something you're still dealing with?
No.
Or you already overcame it?
Something. Different situations in the past.
Okay. Now, how did you overcome it? Like, how did you get past it?
Get rid of the problem.
Okay.
Exactly.
That's the easiest way to do it, right?
We all
Just
been
get
through
rid
that.
of it. Absolutely. If there was one thing you could change about yourself, right, and it doesn't have to be physical, what would it be? It could be anything. Somebody just gave you the power to change anything you
would
want.
try to choose my relationship, like
Okay.
a different, yeah.
Okay. And for you?
Restart my life.
Restart your life?
Yeah.
Okay, so what are we talking about? Are we talking about going back to teens, early 20s? What are we talking about? Or do you just mean like the situation you're in?
No, maybe once I started motherhood. I'll
Okay.
change
So go
a lot
back
of
to
things.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, and so now, how do you ladies feel about your feet? What are your thoughts? How do you,
About
you
what?
think about
I'm
your
sorry?
feet? How do you feel about your feet?
I don't like my feet.
You don't like your feet?
No.
Why is that?
I don't know. They're fat.
They're fat? Okay.
I'm not insecure about them, but I
But
don't
you
like
don't
them.
like them? Okay. And for you?
No, I guess mine all right.
Yours are all right? Okay, so you like them, you
Well,
don't like them? Are
actually,
you
one of them,
indifferent?
it gets swollen than the other,
You said one gets more swollen than the other?
Yeah.
Yeah, usually one of our feet is like usually like a slightly bigger.
Yeah.
So yeah. So have you ladies ever received any compliments on your feet before? Anybody ever said?
Yes.
Said to you?
Yeah.
Yes, men, women?
Yeah.
Both.
Both. Okay. In terms of the compliment, when you get it from a man, how does that make you feel?
Good, if you're being honest.
Okay.
Depending
Second.
from whom.
Depending on who it's from?
Yes.
Okay. And so what about when you receive that compliment from a woman, how does that feel?
The same.
Great.
The same?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Oh, so for you it's
Feels
different.
Yeah, it feels. It's.
Okay.
I think it means a lot more coming from a woman than a man.
And that was the next question I was going to ask, because I interviewed someone before who told me that, a lot of times women are like taught to be in competition through society, things like that. And so a lot of times when you get older and you receive a compliment from another woman, it seems more sincere,
big
whereas
deal.
men tend to like give compliments just to get something in
I
return.
give compliments to women all the time, and you know,
Yeah, but see,
and
like
that's
you're
really
rare,
tricky,
so
but,
like
you know
you're
what I mean?
the
Yeah,
exception
it-
to the rule, because
yeah,
like a lot of women don't do
Yeah,
that,
a lot of
right?
Yeah.
So like you're somebody who like, and you already spoke about having self confidence in yourself, so it probably
Oh, I
doesn't bother
mean,
you
you know,
to go out of your way to just say, hey, you look nice or whatever like
oh
that.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
everybody doesn't do that.
But yeah,
Not
why
everybody, of
There's-
course
there's
not.
nothing
Yeah,
wrong with
and
that.
you, and like you said, that's why it feels different for you, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
of course, because there's not a lot of girls
Yeah.
that would give the compliment that you will give. You know,
Exactly. All right. And so, in terms of if you ladies, I don't know if you guys are married or if you're dating somebody right now, but let's just say you're going back to square one, you just started dating someone, and they were into feet. What would your thoughts be on that? How would you feel?
Kind of weird.
You feel kind of weird. For
No,
you?
it'd be cool to me. I mean,
Okay. So why would you feel weird? I'd like to get to
Weird,
that.
because speed is not the first.
Okay.
Feet's a very, very sensitive part of my
Yeah.
body.
Yeah. So here's the
So,
thing,
if you
like,
like my
and this is
feet,
why I
it's all
started
good.
doing it, and this is why, like, this is one of my topics. A lot of people have like negative like reactions and connotations like when they hear about feet. So to like talk to people about it to see like what your thought process is about it.
Sometimes maybe like, it comes off as a little bit uncomfortable, maybe.
So let me
Okay.
ask you this, right?
Okay.
So I talked to somebody yesterday and she said the same thing, right? So if a guy was into your hair, or he was into like your breasts or your butt, is that better? Is that any different? Because like we have
It
people like
is
that,
different.
right? So it's different, but why is it different? Because it's the same thing, right? It's the
Yeah.
same-
It's,
Like people
because
have what they're into.
obviously, yeah, obviously because there's certain parts of your body that brings more attention
Okay.
versus, like either your knees or
Okay.
like that brings out a lot more attention. Yeah, of course.
Okay.
It'll
So
make you feel-
so you're saying it's because it's not something that's common. Is that why you feel a little bit more weird about it?
Well, I don't think it would make me feel any type of way.
Yeah.
I think it would make me feel some type of way if a guy was into my feet instead of
No, but I'm saying
my
so-
brains or something.
So, but let's say this though, because we're not saying that that's the only thing he's into.
No.
We're just saying that he likes feet. He likes you for who you are,
Okay.
and like he just wants to appreciate your feet. Like, would that be something you'd be okay with?
Yeah.
Or would it? Okay. So that's what I'm trying to get to.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not
If
necessarily.
it's
an
if
obsession,
he's
it's a
into
problem.
me and maybe
Yeah.
I thought like maybe if he was just maybe into
Yeah.
my feet,
If
then
it's
of
an
course I am.
obsession, it's a problem. I
Yeah.
get where you're going with that. So let's say that you guys, like I said, we're going back. You start dating somebody. When's the appropriate time for you both to bring up things you're into?
That first day. That first day. Yeah, that first day.
That first day.
Yeah, why not?
Okay. And for you, what do you think?
As maybe the time goes by.
As time goes by, so as you guys get more familiar
Yeah.
with each other. Okay, and I like this because we're getting like two different like points of view. Like you're saying right away.
Well, because if there's chemical and then we have things in common, whatever. I mean, that's,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I'm sure like
feel
some
it.
things will be talked about, things,
Yeah.
but as you go along, I'm sure you're gonna see
Yeah.
instead of,
Well, of course.
like.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've heard some people, like you said early on, some people feel like as you start dating, somebody told me yesterday, and I was a little shocked. She was like, she would want to find out later on down the road, and I was like, isn't that kind of late though?
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
like you're already in a relationship with the person, and now they're telling you that they're into something. It's too late now. So yeah, how often do you ladies get pedicures?
Once every 2 weeks, probably.
Every 2 weeks, same thing. Okay. How often do you wear like open toe shoes, sandals, flip flops?
Not that often.
Not that often. Is it more for comfort for you? Like you like tennis shoes?
Comfort maybe depends, what situation. Like all last year I wore nothing but sandals, Like
Okay.
this year it was just more busy doing other
I see.
activities.
So you're like running around and things like that, so
Yeah.
you need tennis shoes. on.
It depends,
depends on
on
the
the outfit.
occasion.
So it depends on what outfit you're wearing. Okay, because you like to coordinate.
Well, yeah.
Of course.
I like it. All right. How often do you ladies go barefoot?
Never.
Never for you.
No.
Never. Do you ladies?
I mean, maybe, but no.
No.
Okay. Have you ever heard of grounding before? Earthing. It's
No.
like for like so it's for people who they go barefoot in like grass and stuff like that, and it's so that they can feel the energy from the earth.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
it goes through the whole body. It's a part of
I'm real
reflexology.
sensitive. I don't.
Yeah, so you have sensitive soul, so you probably don't you're not into that.
If
Okay.
I'll be used to it, maybe okay,
Yeah.
But if you're not used to that, it makes a difference.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
I
Okay.
like my feet soft, not rough,
Okay. Sounds good. All right. So now, can we see what your lady's feet look like a coach?
No, not right now.
Why not?
Well, because wearing tennis shoes.
I don't care.
I
Okay. You're fine with it. Okay.
Yeah, but I need.
So
I
what's
mean,
your
I'm about to
reservations? Because
get.
you're saying you're in tennis shoes. We know that, but so my whole interview is designed to.
I mean, I was about
test
to go
your
get a
comfort level.
pedicure today, but
Okay.
I mean,
Can we get
I
you
need
to
a
do it or not?
pedicure. I need a pedicure,
Okay.
but
They look nice. They look nice. Hold on, can you leave it out? Because we gotta go through a couple more seconds. Can you take them both off? Yeah, take them both off.
What?
It's really about feet, huh?
I think you're obsessed with me.
No, hold on. I'm gonna tell you what. You're gonna see where the interview is going from here. This is all designed to test your comfort level. To see. Let me see your toes. Lift your feet up.
They're dirty.
No, they're fine. All right. So let's get back. Leave them out because we're gonna go through a couple more exercises. Okay.
Yeah,
So-
well, it's because, remember I told you that one thing gets one in the other?
Yeah.
So I'm about to get surgery.
Oh, are you? Okay. So
Yes.
I can see why
I
you
mean,
probably
that's
don't
the
feel
reason why, the truth.
comfortable. Okay. Oh, leave them out. We're gonna go through a couple more. Yeah.
Yeah, I sprained my ankle.
Okay.
So one of my veins is closed, so they have to pop
I
it open
see.
and put a tube in it. It's no process.
I see. Okay.
So right now, as you can tell a little bit, I don't know.
Oh, I can
probably
see
not.
your ankle. Yeah, it's kind of
Oh, can you
a little
see?
swollen. Yeah, a
Yeah,
little
this
swollen
one?
here. Yeah. I can see it right there.
See, so
Okay. I see what you mean. So we couldn't get you to do the other one?
no.
Okay.
I'm like, no.
Okay.
But yeah, that's. Yeah.
So here's the thing, right? So the entire process is getting to the mental health, right? So I started this channel, I was watching another guy, he was talking about DBT. I don't know if you ladies have ever heard of that. It's dialectical behavioral therapy. So it's for people who suffer from anxiety, depression. It's for people who don't live in the moment, right? So what therapists prescribe to these people who don't tend to do that, they basically tell them to go out and put themselves in those uncomfortable situations, right?
Oh yeah.
Right, and they want you to do it
know
over
what?
and over again. So let's say you have a fear of going up and approaching strangers, that's something that you really get deep anxiety about.
Yeah.
They want you to go out and do it over and over again, right? They want you to get used to the uncomfortable feeling that you have, and when you have that uncomfortable urge, they want you to do a self-assessment and ask yourself, what's the worst that's going to happen in this situation, right? Because
What's
a lot
the
of
worst
times,
that can happen?
yeah, because a lot of times
That's the same thing I said to myself. Right
yeah,
now.
exactly. Because a lot of times in our minds, we create all these different scenarios and stuff that will never happen, right? So it's basically taking yourself through all that, and if there's not anything that you can come up with that's a threat to your life, threat to your safety, you
You're
should proceed.
fearless and you can proceed without any
There you go.
For example,
problems. Not problems, without any struggles.
I
I have a friend that's a therapist, right?
Uh-huh.
And in her home, she has the meetings and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, she's in the back room. She was building, the back room, but putting a pole. And
Okay.
I was like, hey, what? She's like, because this is the thing. When you come to the meetings and women have been through so much,
Mm-hmm.
the pole is something where you let go and
Yeah.
for so much abuse and so much, they're so that's gonna make them open
Mm-hmm.
and just feel free as a beautiful woman.
Exactly.
You feel me?
Exactly.
So I was like, oh, I never thought about it like
yeah,
that.
exactly.
You know,
a
and
lot of
that's
times
cool.
we don't think about it. We just
If you
only think about
prepare
the negative.
yourself for the
that
worst,
helps
maybe.
a lot
Yeah.
to open up. And,
Yeah, you gotta envision positive
Exactly.
outcomes from things. If I do this,
Yeah.
here's something positive that can come from it,
Those are
right?
very good examples.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I've always thought like that. Maybe if you prepare yourself for the worst,
Yeah.
maybe you can overcome anything.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
you know what?
if you stay ready, right, you don't have to get ready, right?
Exactly.
That's all it is. And if you
People
like you
say,
said,
oh,
prepare yourself for the worst,
Even
right?
if you've been through so much, hey, but you know what?
I mean,
it
and
makes
what's
you a
the
stronger
worst
person.
can be, right?
Exactly. And that's the thing. You think about that. If it's not anything that's going to threaten your life or safety, then what are you worried about, right?
Nothing.
And so that's the whole point of why
I
I
make
do the
nothing.
interviews like this, right? So let's get to the reflexology, okay? You already said you don't really know too much about it. It's the study of the different pressure points we have in our hands and feet. These pressure points correlate back to other parts of our body. So through massage, acupuncture, things like that, you can alleviate stress and tension to
Yeah.
different parts of your body. So I don't know, do you ladies ever deal with migraines or anything like that?
Yes, all the time.
So there's a portion of your foot, and I'll actually show you, okay? So
Okay.
let me get you to put one of your feet out. Okay? So let's see the sole, okay? And then lift it like this. Okay, so right here at the base of the toe, if you rub this, you can alleviate a lot of that pressure that you're having from that, okay?
And right
There's
here.
other portions, and you have them in your hands too, but there are other portions too that let's say you're having trouble sleeping, there's a portion of your foot, and these areas are called zones. And so anytime you guys are dealing with that, you can always do that. So now that we have you in a situation, how ticklish are you? Ticklish? How ticklish? Scale of 1 to 10.
Like a 7.
7? Okay, can we test it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We're gonna go right foot first. Okay, and we're gonna start from the bottom.
Okay.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, try to hold it there. Try to hold it there.
Okay.
This is what I want you to do. Try to think about it not being ticklish, okay? Instead of like.
Okay.
So, right, 1, 2, 3. And where is it more ticklish at?
Right here.
Right in the sole?
Yeah.
Or right in the arch? Okay. Let's try your left foot. Okay. And one's usually more ticklish, so tell me which one it was, okay? 1, 2, 3, and
This one.
this one is worse?
Yeah.
Oh, this one's absolutely worse, okay. Alright, cool. Now let me get you to do a favor. Sit back a little bit. I need you to do a couple exercises, and this is gonna test like whether or not you might have ligament damage, or you might have a broken bone or something like that.
Or mental problem.
No, you'll be fine. It shouldn't be anything like that. So leave your toes up like that.
Okay.
Okay, here's what I want you to do first.
Okay.
Make a, let's try to do it more like this, okay? Now make a fist with your feet. Did you feel any pain or discomfort while you were doing that?
No.
Okay, relax. Okay, spread your toes. Tell me if you feel anything. Is it hard to do? Easy?
It's hard to do.
That's hard. Okay, relax.
Okay.
Wiggle your toes for about 10 seconds and tell me what you feel. If you feel any pain, discomfort, anything like that?
My ligament, like I can
Up
start
here? In
yeah,
your
my
leg?
ligament.
But nothing here though. You don't feel anything in your feet?
No.
Okay, cool. All right. So, what was, first of all, the sensitivity in terms, you said it was about a 7. That's what you thought it was going to be. Was it higher?
It was less maybe on this side.
Less on the right. But on this one, it was more?
Yeah.
Okay, so you think it was maybe about a 6 on the right?
Yeah.
And maybe what, about an 8 on the left?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Cool. So, lastly, let's wrap up the interview. Okay? In terms of my approach, when I came up, was it good? Was it bad? Is there something I can work on? It was good?
No, it was good. You know,
Okay.
very
Okay.
respectful of yourself.
In terms of the interview, right? Start to finish, as we were going on, could you see how the interview was going? Did everything make sense? Did you learn anything new from the material I provided?
Well, actually, yeah, but about the feet.
The reflexology?
Yeah.
Okay. And what about for you? Did you
I knew about that because I get migraines, so I read a lot
Okay.
about like
about how to like
Yes.
get over them?
Yes.
Okay. What about the DBT? Did you learn anything there?
DBT was
About the like anxiety and depression, how to get past that? Like basically asking yourself what's the worst that can happen in the situations? Did you learn something from that? That maybe you can use every day?
I mean stay ready.
Yeah.
I've
All right.
always had that in mind.
Absolutely.
Be
Okay.
prepared for the worst and
There you
what's
go.
the worst that could happen. And
Exactly.
you'll
So
be prepared for life.
the last thing that I ask everybody to do that does the interview, in terms of a mental health aspect, right? Can you say something to my channel that maybe is a life lesson that you learned that you can pass on to somebody else?
Yeah,
It could be anything. It could be the simplest of words, just whatever you
You know
have.
what? People say like how I said earlier,
Reach to
you've been through so much, but
Reach out for help.
it makes you a better person. You know.
Okay. Cool. I like that. Well, thank you, ladies, so much. I appreciate you guys taking the time, and hopefully you guys have a great one. Okay.
and you're not alone.
There you go.